So, I'm making this video today and I'm gonna upload it today. Straight up, no questions asked. I don't even care if you pass judgment on me for the mess around me right now. It's not even that crazy, honestly. Hopefully, you can't even see a lot of it. I mean, it's not that crazy. I do have a lot of crap on the table in front of me right now, not gonna lie. But really, what I wanted to make this video about is something I've been reflecting on at least for the last month now. Just thinking about what who was I before I gave a crap. I'm gonna try not to curse because I don't know how YouTube, I don't know how this goes yet. This is my first video, okay? In case you didn't know, my name is Kay Lion. I probably should have mentioned that a minute ago. But the topic of this video, and I might do another video to go more into depth about it, is who am I? Like, at my core, who am I? Who was I before I gave a crap about what other people thought about me? And so I asked myself, okay, well, when did I start actually really caring about the opinions of others, or what other people liked, or what other people expected of me? I would say that feeling maybe started to really take shape around 12 years old or so, where you really start to see what the other kids are doing, why they're popular, what they're doing that's popular, wanting to be more popular yourself, or it's not just popularity, but I would say that around 13, 14, 15 is when, for myself, I started smoking weed. And this is a big one that I've been thinking about a lot lately too, because I've been smoking weed consistently since I was 15 years old. Consistently smoking weed since I was 15 years old. I just turned 25 a month ago. Today's January 18th. So a little over a month ago, I turned 25. And one of my big goals that I wanted to set for myself was that I really wanted to quit smoking weed, because I just felt like it became such a huge part of my personality. Like, I have so many friends from high school that I put them on their first blunt. Like, I have friends that I put their mom on her first blunt. I got this one friend that I literally put him on his first blunt. Then a couple years later, I put his younger sister on her first blunt. And then I put their mom on her first blunt. And I got several other friends that is similar instances. Smoking weed became a huge part of my personality. In my family, I'm on both sides of my family. I'm probably the only stoner, the way that I was. My dad doesn't really smoke weed like that. My mom smokes weed, but she's not a stoner, I wouldn't say. I don't have any siblings that are close enough to me to have any kind of influence over me in that way, so I didn't share that with anybody. And My cousins that I have on my mother's side, who are closer in age to me, also just don't smoke weed. That's not their preference. So a lot of people around me really started to associate me with the smoking weed thing. So and that was one thing that eventually I started to realize, I don't know if I really want this association. But within myself, it was really bothering me that I felt like I didn't know who I was as not a stoner. To be fair, we all have our vices. Everybody has a vice, right? You smoke, you drink, maybe you pop stuff, or I don't know, there are other vices that are not drug related, that are also unhealthy. Sex is a vice for a lot of people, and a lot of people put themselves in those type of situations. So I guess for myself, it was before I ever started smoking weed, when I was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like I definitely kept myself occupied. I didn't have siblings in my household to be regularly playing with, or cousins or anybody my age. I had to entertain my own self. I had to occupy my own self. And I'm grateful for that, because everything that I am today was rooted there. You know, during that age is when I first started creating music, instrumenting, in experimenting with instruments. Drawing was always a major part of my childhood. Drawing, painting, visual artwork, and these are all things that stuck with me forever. So I'm grateful for it. And since I've started smoking weed around the age of 15, of course, as all teenagers, it came with a lot of other distractions and trying to impress my peers, just figuring it out. Um, but mostly, I feel like also in this day and age, with that and fucking social media, I just feel like I've become too concerned with like what other people got going on or what other people think of me. And maybe you might not think I come across that way, because I still be doing what I do, and I still be doing what I do regardless of who's doing what. You know what I'm saying? I know that there's a lot of other people that's way more deep into it than I am. Like I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and we were talking about how TikTok is supposed to be done tomorrow. They're clipping TikTok tomorrow, January 19th. Um she was telling me how she really likes TikTok because of all of the stuff that's on there, but and I told her that I usually use Instagram, but she was like, "Oh, I don't like Instagram because everybody on Instagram is rich, and everybody on Instagram is flexing, and I'm not there. I'm not rich." And it just made me realize, like, one, other people are experiencing this too, and are maybe more far gone regarding how they compare to others. Comparison is the thief of joy. I think that's what I'm getting at. Like, so since my birthday, December 16th, I've been really trying to quit the weed. I tried to go cold turkey. Actually, I didn't try to go. I was gonna go cold turkey, and obviously, boom, a blunt pops up in my face, so I'm gonna hit that. And I've kind of smoked for the last couple weeks, but I have not bought any weed since I before my birthday. Like the day of my birthday was like I was on my last dime. Like that was like, after I finish this dime, I'm not gonna buy any more weed. And to this day, I still have not bought any more weed. But because people have just associated me with smoking weed for like fucking 10 years, people keep bringing me weed. Like, I love my clients. I'm so grateful for my clients. They love me. They appreciate me and everything I do. But they be bringing me weed, and I'm not gonna say no to some free za. Like, I'm not gonna say no to some free za. So, I've smoked, but I've smoked significantly less. Significantly less. Like, there have been days where I went without smoking at all, maybe a day or two, and then I'll smoke. Or even just small habits, like before, when I had my own weed that I had purchased myself, I wake up and roll up, or I would wake up and even have already something left over from last night that I would smoke. And I feel like that was offsetting my day, because that it would really make me feel kind of groggy. um I'm I'm already very impressed with myself for everything that I've accomplished in the last, let me put a number on it. I'm 25. I would say in the last 7 years, since I was, let's say, 18. Damn, 18 was 7 years ago. That's crazy. Even though I've been smoking hella weed, I mean, I still had the discipline and the willingness to learn a craft that was high paying craft. And I'm not saying that this is like guaranteed money. I mean, slow season is slow season. Like, it's gonna happen like that. And tattoo money is very dependent on how the economy is doing for everybody else. But I'm still very proud of myself for learning something like that at a young age and applying myself consistently enough to sustain myself at this age. You know, I'm 25 years old, and when I was 18, I really thought that all 25-year-olds just had it together and gonna have their own apartment and have their own car and all this shit. And now that I'm actually 25, I realize, like, yo, like, my generation is struggling. Like, we are struggling. Like, I don't know if it's just like because of the economy thing. I know I'm not really into politics like that, but I think 25 is a very fair age to like see, like, okay, what is this? What is the condition of my people? And people struggling. Like, I'm hearing from others that they're having the same issues regarding finances or stability and stuff like that that we were having when we were 18 or 17 and 18. And not trying to like sound like a big-headed person, but I'm very proud of myself for overcoming that just enough to where I don't have that set of concerns, right? um Even still though, like, smoking weed for the last 7 years, not to put all the blame on that, but as much as I feel like it's helped me with a lot of the things that I deal with, such as sleep issues, insomnia, night terrors, um, emotional dysregulation. The weed has helped me with that over the years, but also I felt like it was sedating me. Like, I used to be, before I was smoking weed, a lot more creative. Not that I'm not creative now, but people probably hearing like, bro, how could you be more creative than you are right now? You're like mad creative. You create this and you create that. Yeah, but like when I was like my raw, unsedated or medicated self was so much more creative, also so much more just interested in learning. I used to read a lot more books. I mean, I have a whole bookshelf right here, and I take time to read pretty often, or study at the very least. I use a lot of YouTube, and if I'm not physically reading the book, I'm studying from the author, and I'm studying from, podcasters talking about these titles and stuff like that. Um, I just wanted to know my like, what do you say, hypothesis, or like my experiment. The question that I wanted to have was like, if I've already done all this, if I was able to do all this for myself while stoned, like, what could I achieve if I wasn't stoned? So here we are. I'm 25, trying not to smoke a weed. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still smoking a little weed, but much less. Like, I'm not sitting here and facing a whole joint. You know, some of the things that I've noticed, is that my dreams have been a lot more vivid, and I don't know why this is for me. This is a large part of the reason why I really gravitated towards smoking weed when I did. My dreams are not good. Like, I don't know why. I don't know. Does anybody? I would love to hear about other people's dreams. A lot of the people I know and surround myself with are also stoners, and I know that when you smoke a lot of weed, you don't really remember your dreams or even have dreams. But even in the last 4 weeks since I've been really cutting down on weed, my dreams have been fucking crazy. Last night I had a dream that I was in my grandmother's house, the childhood apartment that she lived in when I was a child, and like shit was on fire, like nearby, like not in her house, but like what I can imagine the LA fire situation was like. Oh, we're standing on the patio. I see a fire over there. I see a fire over there. It was scary. And I've had like several other dreams that they be just kind of scary. Like, so maybe once I completely level out and don't have any weed in my system, maybe I'll have better dreams. But um I wrote something in my notebook yesterday. I'm gonna go grab that real quick. I went to this park, right across the street, right across the bridge or whatever, because I live by the river. And something, I drew a crayon. Like, I'm gonna show you the crayon. I thought it was a cute crayon. Hopefully you can see it. I found a crayon on the floor, like a broken crayon. I was doing like a workout yesterday, found this crayon on the floor, and then a few, maybe an hour or two later, I'm sitting by the river and I thought I saw a crayon floating in the river. So I drew a crayon. I don't know. I drew a crayon. And I felt really compelled to get back in touch with that age for myself. Like when I had no concerns about, I had a lot less concerns about what people thought of me and just wanted to create. Crayons. So I'm gonna get a coloring book. I'm gonna get a box of Crayola crayons today. When I go out, I gotta go some laundry detergent, and I'm gonna get some crayons. Then I'm watching my astrology videos. I watch on YouTube. I'm like obsessed. I'm like super addicted to these YouTube astrologers. And say what you want about that. I don't really care. But I have this one particular astrologer that I really enjoy her readings. Her name is Ria. Her YouTube channel is Sacred Knowledge Tarot. I watch a lot of her videos. She encourages people to watch their sun, moon, rising, and Venus sign readings. And I get home and I'm watching this reading, and she literally says something like, something has been telling you to get more in touch with your childlike self, like the person, like she literally said what I was thinking earlier in that day. I did a whole fucking journal, 4-page written entry about just trying to tap into my childhood before I was 12 years old, before I was, smoking weed, before I was trying to impress other people, before I cared about money. She literally said all of that shit in my reading. And it was like really, I want to say, reaffirming, kind of, because she literally, like, I can't make it up, it was too accurate. She even said something about coloring. She might have even said the word crayon, like, and I just drew a crayon in my book, like. So that felt definitely very reaffirming. Happy Saturday, or whatever day it is for you as you're watching this. Get in touch with your childhood side. Think about it. Maybe you don't have to get in touch with it right now. Maybe your childhood was traumatic, and if that's the case, then I'm sorry. I don't mean to bring you back to any kind of traumatic stuff, but just try to think about, like, what did you enjoy? Like, what did you enjoy? What do you enjoy? You know? But when you were a kid, you had to entertain yourself somehow. Like, you had to. As a child, you had to have some kind of way to keep yourself busy, or someone kept you busy. But what was it? What did you enjoy? I used to make little origamis. I used to sit on my grandma's little laptop and watch YouTube videos of drawings, origamis, conspiracy theories. Like, the internet was way, way, way cooler before 2014. Like, the internet was way, way cooler. Now it's like fucking rabbit hole, brain rot. I feel like it's a lot harder to just kind of get lost in the internet. But I do attribute that largely to my knowledge, to my intelligence, because I sat and I read pretty much my entire childhood. I was studying something, so that was me. Maybe you used to be into sports. How can you do that now? Okay, maybe you can't fucking run around the entire field and tackle 8-year-olds, but how can you attribute that to your life now? Like, find a bar that has other sports fans where you guys can talk about sports or something. Or maybe you can meet some new friends that want to go watch games with you. Or maybe you have a child and you want to introduce them into that world. Maybe you can find a way to encourage others around you to take interest in something that you might feel interested in or knowledgeable about. What else could somebody have been into as a child? Maybe as a child you were into, I have a cousin. I have a younger cousin. He's my second cousin. He is 9 years old, if I'm correct. He'll be 10 this year. Yes, he'll be 10 this year. He's way deep into Pokemon. Like, I don't know a thing about Pokemon. I don't know a damn clue about Pokemon. But I wonder how that's gonna translate when he's 19, or maybe let's give it a couple more years after 19, because I feel like 19 is definitely still prime, like, give a fuck about what other people think age. Let's say 25, when he's my age, 25. Maybe he can find some way to, you know, maybe, who knows, maybe he has a child and he wants to introduce his child to Pokemon, or maybe he's into the artwork, maybe he wants to draw pictures. Beyond that, what if he becomes a new creator and creates a fucking new app or a new game, a new Pokemon that's not Pokemon but something similar to that, like something like a new, I don't know what you would call Pokemon. Is it a game? Like, I don't know. I don't really know how to, you know, I don't, like I said, I don't know much about this, but taking the things that you loved when you were a child and using your adult power to expand on that in ways that you couldn't when you were 9 years old. You know, that's my goal. That's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at right now. So, I already said bye to y'all, but I'm gonna say bye again. You're like, girl, didn't you just say bye? I'm saying bye again. Thank you guys for your time.